welcome to Valley Rat Chat. Tonight we're going to continue our series on iconic Valley restaurants and some new ones too. Apologies for being late on getting the Valley Rat Chat posted. I was having some trouble with my editing software this weekend, and I finally got that fixed, so I went ahead and posted. Gregg Park Civic Center has lots of activities going on. They have a yard sale coming up on Saturday, April 18th, and they also have lots of summer camp dates posted. You can go to their Facebook to get that information, and all of these events I've also shared a link on Horse Creek Legacy Facebook page. There's a family-friendly event coming soon. April 25th from 9 to 4, the Graniteville Fish Rodeo. It's going to be a free event, be a great opportunity for children that's never experienced fishing before. So be sure to check out their Facebook page by the same name. It'll give you all the information. The Living History Park in North Augusta is having a fundraiser event on May 8th from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. It's a historical trivia fundraiser, and they're also selling barbecue plates. The water wheel was damaged during Hurricane Helene, that's my understanding, and they're having to raise funds to get that repaired. So if you want more information on that, you can look at that on Living History Park on Facebook. The beach at Langley Pond Park will open for the season on Friday, May 22nd, so be sure to catch that. Be sure to support our local events at Langley Pond. It's a great park. I'm planning a video series that I'm calling the Grand Tour of Highway 421. I'm just going to drive around and talk about how things were when I was growing up in the 80s, but I'd like to hear what it was before the 80s, so just be on the lookout for that. Don't forget to check out our Graniteville Bulletin page flip videos. One of them, and I don't remember the date on it, has photos of the Gregg plant being constructed, which was fascinating. There was one, I think it was from 1946. I'm not sure. It showed the cleared lot where the plant was going to go. Bush's Seafood. Now, they are on Main Street as you go from Warrenville to Graniteville. Where they're sitting is actually Madison is what that little area is called, but everybody calls that Graniteville. But Bush's Seafood has been there forever and ever. And I remember I used to stop there and pick up a plate of fried oysters. It was so good. I think their big draw is catfish stew, because every time I come through there and I see they'll have a light on that says catfish stew, there will not be any place to park. And I've been wanting to go in there and get me some of that stew, but I just don't have anywhere to park. But they also have their menu online. If anyone can send that menu to us, we'll be glad to post it on Horse Creek Legacy. There used to be a restaurant where the Advanced Auto Parts is now located in Clearwater. And it started out as a place called the Filling Station. I think it was something before that, but I don't remember. And the Filling Station was just buffets, and we used to love going in there. They had a buffet that was nothing but sandwich fixings. You could fix whatever kind of sandwich you wanted. They had everything out there, and that's the only thing that sticks out in my mind. I know they had other stuff, but I can't remember what it was. If anybody remembers the Filling Station, please comment below. If you have a menu, that'd be great. Now, that eventually closed because the quality of the food went downhill, and then what went in there next was Lonnie's Barbecue. I always liked Lonnie's Barbecue, and that was a buffet as well. I just liked the recipe. It was really good. It was all you could eat. You'd pay, $11, something like that. I don't remember. It was cheap, and you go in there and just eat all you wanted. Clearwater KFC used to be in the Clearwater Shopping Center on the corner of the Shopping Center Drive and Seminole Avenue. The Kentucky Fried Chicken that was in the Clearwater Shopping Center, back in the 70s, that restaurant had a completely different taste. It is nothing like it was, and it has changed several times over the years, not for the better. But whatever recipes they were using in the late 70s and early 80s, oh my goodness, the gravy was different, the coleslaw was different. It was cut up real fine, and they only had the original recipe, and the batter that was on the chicken, it was seasoned completely different. So what you eat now when you go to a KFC is not what they had at the Kentucky Fried Chicken back then, and I miss it. It was so delicious. That restaurant stayed packed. My granddad would always bring home dinner every Friday night. That was just kind of our family thing. We'd get takeout. And for many, many years, that's where we would go, was the Kentucky Fried Chicken in the Clearwater Shopping Center. Now, when they moved across the street, we didn't go there so much then because we had other options. The 421 Seafood Market, which was in Gloverville. I don't care what any of y'all say. I like the restaurants that are not fancy, and this was definitely one of those. They had really, really good sweet tea, and it was a fish market. You could go in there and purchase fish if you wanted to cook it yourself, or you could order a cooked plate from them. We used to go down there on our Friday nights to get takeout. I always liked the broiled flounder. It was just absolutely delicious. And when you ordered from there, you got 2 takeout boxes. One was for your big piece of fish, and the other was for everything else that went with it. They gave you coleslaw, you could get French fries with it, and hush puppies. They were famous for their hush puppies. They were so good. I think they were the kind that was the long and skinny hush puppies. They were really good. We always enjoyed eating from there. Bobby's Barbecue. Now, I don't know that I've ever had anything from Bobby's Barbecue, and it overlooked Langley Pond. Nice looking building with a view. And they also had the little gift shop that was next door, which I think now they might be using that as a convention center. I'm not sure, but I've never eaten there. But if anybody has a menu from there and would like to post it, just get that sent in to us. Hardee's in the Clearwater Shopping Center parking lot. They've been there forever. Now I'm going to carry on about Hardee's here for a few minutes. Now when I was growing up in the 80s, that's where everybody would go hang out on the weekends, like on Friday night. That was the place to be seen, was the Hardee's parking lot. Now, Hardee's back in the day, in the 80s, I loved their food. They were very famous for their roast beef sandwich. It was so good. And that was before Arby's was really a thing in the area. They had a sandwich that was the competition for McDonald's Big Mac, and Hardee's version was called the Big Twin, and it was basically the same thing, but I liked it better. They had hot dogs, and there was something unique about Hardee's hot dog chili. It was the kind that has the no beans, but the meat in it is chopped up real fine, and there was a lot of meat in it, and it was really good, and I always liked their hot dogs. Oh my goodness. In the late 80s, Hardee's in Clearwater started cooking fried chicken. In all my years, that is the best fried chicken. The only other place that had any chicken kind of like that was Granny's Chicken in Maggie Valley, which is closed now. But that Hardee's fried chicken, it was the best. Hardee's was also the first fast food restaurant, to my knowledge, that started selling breakfast. And I remember when they first started making biscuits, and they were really good. They had a butter biscuit that you could put jelly on. I liked that one. And then Hardee's gravy biscuit was like no other. It was good. This wasn't in the valley, but it was another Hardee's that was on Martintown Road in North Augusta. Now, what was so special about this Hardee's was they had the plaything, and every child from the 70s and early 80s wanted to go play on that plaything because it was so neat. You can see photos of it online if you just type in Hardee's Playground and it'll show up. And I don't want to paste a photo on here because of copyright issues, but look that up. And they eventually, when they decided to redo that entire shopping center, they removed the plaything and took it over to Riverview Park, and it was over there for a long time, and I don't know what happened to it after that, but that was it got moved in the late 80s, but everybody loved that thing. Before this building was Glenda's Bar. In the early 80s, it was a chicken restaurant called The Big Chick. Now, I think it was kind of a local chain because there was one in Gloverville and there was one on Richland Avenue in Aiken, just past the downtown area. This is one of those restaurants that we would sometimes get food from on Friday nights as a family. I really liked the Big Chick, and the lady that worked in there was really nice. We were sad when it closed. Clearwater Shopping Center had a Chinese restaurant that was in the old KFC building. It was the corner of Seminole Avenue and the Clearwater Shopping Center. I don't remember the name of that little restaurant, but they had the best chop suey. It had so many different vegetables in it, and I really liked ordering that plate. That was in the early 90s. It's called Fire King now, but it was called something else back then. Now, Ferrando's was our first pizza restaurant in the Valley, but the first franchise chain in the Valley was Domino's. Now, here's where they originally started out on the Aiken-Augusta Highway, and then they moved across the street to the little shopping center that's behind Food Lion. We were so excited when we had pizza delivery in the area. We couldn't do that until we got the 911 addresses in the 90s. The building that houses the current restaurant, Jamrock Carabana, on the corner of 421 and Greenville Road in Warrenville. I don't know what that was when it was first built. It was obviously a cafe. I think I remember one time, vaguely remember, that it was like just a grill where you could go in there and get stuff like country fried steak and things like that. But my memory's dusty. I don't remember much about it. So if anybody knows anything about what it was before, please comment below. Now, the current restaurant is Jamrock Carabana, and they have Jamaican food. They have their own website, and you can check that out. Now, some of these aren't necessarily quote-unquote iconic restaurants. I'm sure that people remember them and miss them, and that's why I wanted to talk about it. So I'm going to talk about a little restaurant that used to be in the Masonic Shopping Center in Graniteville called Lai Lai. I loved this little restaurant. It was closer to Drive, where I lived at the time, than it was to Ming Ming. And the thing that I remember about them, they had really big portions, and they had the best spring rolls, and I hated it when they closed. The train wreck happened and they never opened back up. But that was one of my favorite places to go eat. There was a place up on Escaga Lake Road called the Red Barn or something like that. I didn't live here at the time when that was open, but apparently that was a very popular restaurant, and because it was very popular but it's now closed, we're going to put that in the iconic category. And they had country cooking, I think is what they served. And if anyone has that old menu, be sure to get that to us. Langley Tavern. It's one of the only upscale restaurants that we have in the Valley area. Everybody was very excited when they opened because they wouldn't have to drive to Aiken or North Augusta, which has always been the issue around here. Their iconic dish is their fish and chips. So if you haven't been there, be sure to visit. They have live music on the weekends. I wanted to put a picture of their menu on here, but the website said it may be subject to copyright. So just check out their website and you can see the list of things that they have. They have a very large bar in there if you're into drinks or anything like that. So it's a really nice place to go. According to a comment from a viewer, one of these buildings was called Pat's Restaurant. I don't know anything about Pat's, so if anyone has any information or a menu, be sure to comment below. All right, here's one that I have to do some research on because I only know the name and I can't even remember where I heard the name, but it was a restaurant called Ruth's Place. Now, if I have to guess, I think it was in Bath in one of those brick buildings past the post office, but I have no idea. I'm just making a wild guess. So if anybody knows anything about Ruth's Place, please comment below because I would like to do a historical video about that, but I just don't know anything more about it other than the name. Don't forget about the Jade Garden in Graniteville. I think they might be the only Chinese restaurant in Graniteville. But that's a good place to go, so be sure to check them out. I don't remember what the name of this grill was, but it's right across the street from Bush's Seafood. But I've been in there and I have eaten before, and I just don't remember what the name of the place was. It was like a little burger bar with dinner plates, things like that. Now, New Graniteville is growing up very rapidly, and I'm glad to see that we have some new development going into the Graniteville area, but it would really do everyone's heart some good to see something done with historic Graniteville. Anyway, New Graniteville is getting some nice restaurants. Have McDonald's out there. There's a Starbucks out there. We're getting a Waffle House out there. Yay! That area is growing up rapidly. Thank you for listening. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and share to Horse Creek Legacy. And until next time.